The Nightbeat starts right now.
He was arrested with loaded weapons and 160 rounds of ammunition. Universal City Police say he threatened to kill people inside their home and police officers. So why did the Bexar County District Attorney's Office recommend low bonds for this suspect? Tonight, our KSAT Investigates team explores that very question. And while the city of San Antonio keeps growing, so does the problem of illegal dumping. It's costing all of us. We go to a neighborhood that's had illegal trash trouble and find out what solid waste officials are doing to clean up the mess. But first, investigators looking into whether there are more victims in the case against a local Roman Catholic priest. The story we've been following for you since 6 o'clock tonight, shortly after that priest was arrested for aggravated sexual assault. You see it right here. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas spoke with parishioners at his most recent church tonight.
Sooner or later, whoever does bad, they're gonna pay for it. There's heaven and there's hell. That's all I can say.
There's a sense of disbelief and shock at St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church. The man parishioners know as Father Wenjiri, or George Mbunga Ndungu, is accused of sexually assaulting a church member.
Our parish members are going to find out, as they're finding out, they're going to have hurt feelings, because that's what I'm feeling right now.
According to the Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar, a church employee accused Ndungu of doing something, quote, improper with her in August. He was reassigned while the Archdiocese of San Antonio asked any potential victims to come forward. Earlier this month, a woman in her 70s accused a priest of sexually assaulting her on 3 separate occasions.
He very much groomed this victim, gained her confidence. Obviously, she's a very religious person, very involved in the church, and unfortunately, he just totally abused that.
According to the arrest affidavit, the woman says when she resisted Ndungu's advances, he said, quote, God is merciful, God is forgiving. All we have to do is go to confession, and for now, just enjoy the moment. Also saying, God told them it was okay for them to do this, just not every day.
He saw an opportunity, and like a predator will tend to do, he took full advantage of that, weaseled his way into her home, and then sexually assaulted her.
Now, according to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Ndungu worked at 8 different churches around San Antonio and the New Braunfels area since 2017. Again, church members might know him better as Father Wenjiri, and investigators do believe there could be more victims and ask anyone with information to contact the Sheriff's Office at 210-335-6000. The number is on your screen and also on our website. At St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Troubling allegations. Thank you, John Paul. Developing now, Hollywood writers can head back to work tomorrow. The Writers Guild of America says its nearly 150-day strike will end at 2:01 a.m. San Antonio time. WGA leadership says they support the tentative agreement with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. WGA members will vote on the deal next week. Meanwhile, the Actors Union strike will still continue. Nearing capacity. That's how El Paso city officials describe their shelters as more migrants continue to cross the border.
They don't necessarily have funds to be able to continue their travels within the United States. That's also leading to that breaking point, because we're seeing longer stays within the shelter system as a direct result.
They are not just passing through. The mayor of El Paso says the city has found accommodations for 7,000 migrants over the last 10 days. Just last night, the city council voted to buy a former school to serve as an additional migrant shelter in El Paso. Meanwhile, here in San Antonio, the city continues to shelter migrants coming into our town. Its online dashboard shows more than 1,000 migrants have been sheltered daily in San Antonio since Friday. This is a problem that costs all of us, taxpayers, thousands of dollars every year. Well, now the city of San Antonio is stepping up its efforts to stop illegal dumping. As the Night Team's Patty Santos explains, the city is getting some extra help to cover the cleanup.
Any idea when the last time you guys were here?
Probably a couple of weeks, maybe a week ago.
San Antonio's solid waste crews are back at what they say is a chronic dump site. This here empty lot, off of I-10 and Badger Street on the east side.
You see anything from trash, of course, household trash, furniture, brush. You see a lot of boards, fencing, some hazardous materials.
Clearing out illegal dumping and homeless encampments is a big priority for Solid Waste Management Director Andrew Gutierrez.
Illegal dumping attracts more illegal dumping, and so it's in our best interest to get it off the ground as soon as possible.
It makes the neighborhood just look cheap and bad, you know.
Desiree Aria Soto drives by the dump site on her way home. She says it's always been a problem and she wishes the city would take more permanent action.
Just fence it, close it down some kind of way or another so that people stop dumping.
The city spent $1.6 million to fund an 11-member crew dedicated solely to clearing dump sites and encampments. Last year, they collected more than 2,400 tons of trash from 9,000 cleanups. This year, their goal is 11,000 cleanups and 3,000 tons of trash.
At the end of the day, all these costs are passed on to us.
This summer, an undercover operation with San Antonio police led to the arrest of 3 people suspected of illegal dumping.
We're going to be doing a lot more of these this year, so if you're dumping, you get caught, you're going to have a bad day.
And getting caught for illegal dumping could cost you anywhere from a few $1,000s to jail time. Now, Solid Waste this year is getting an additional $500,000 plus to deal specifically with illegal dumping. So community members are going to be seeing more educational advertising telling all of us where to go dump our bulky items for free legally. Steve?
Thank you, Patty. Meanwhile, a big win for San Antonio and the city's bioscience and health industries. Texas has been awarded the headquarters location for a federal scientific research agency. The Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health, or ARPA-H, is a group that has its sights set on medical and scientific innovations, specifically how patients across the country will be treated in the future. The headquarters is going to be physically located in Dallas, but San Antonio will also have a role. We asked Biomed SA's president, Heather Hansen, why the announcement is so big for the Alamo City.
In San Antonio in particular, having this visibility will likely mean more projects coming here, more clinical trials coming here, to where our population will get access first to these cutting edge technologies.
Hansen went on to say the announcement today means jobs and money coming to San Antonio. You can watch the entire interview with her and the UT Health SA Vice President of Research right now on KSAT.com and our YouTube page. Let's go to the Nightbeat News Flash right now. Work continues on Capitol Hill ahead of a potential government shutdown. Senate lawmakers close to passing a bipartisan measure that would continue funding through November 17th. But tonight, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the House would likely consider its own stopgap bill on Friday. By the way, the deadline to avoid a shutdown is Saturday. Another legal blow for former President Donald Trump. A New York judge's ruling says Trump is liable for fraud on financial paperwork. The judge says he overvalued his assets when finalizing deals with banks and insurance companies. The ruling part of a lawsuit brought by the New York State Attorneys General. Meanwhile, Trump says he is skipping the second GOP presidential debate in favor of going to Michigan to speak with United Auto Workers. Tonight, the president of that union, Shawn Fain, said he would not meet with Trump. Fain joined President Joe Biden on the UAW picket line today in Detroit, a first for a sitting president. UAW members have been on strike for nearly 2 weeks now. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. All right, Canyon Lake has lots of secrets, it seems, and the low water levels have led to the discovery of at least one of them. A cave known as Party Cove is usually hidden beneath the water's surface at Canyon Lake. Well, it's been exposed, and previously divers have actually found proof that 2 towns are at the bottom of Canyon Lake. You can read more about it right now on KSAT.com.
We did have some areas of rain today, but not over Canyon Lake, and even if they were, not enough for replenishing Canyon Lake, getting that water level up. Another shot at rain tomorrow. We'll look at the future casts and time out our best window of opportunity in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Ready for war. Universal City Police claim a man said that as he threatened to kill people inside a home, and then he threatened to get in a shootout with officers. KSAT investigates what came next after that man was arrested. A man armed with loaded guns arrested by Universal City Police after investigators say he threatened to kill people inside a home and was, quote, ready for war, end quote, with officers. Hours later, the Bexar County District Attorney's Office recommended a low bond for that suspect. Here's KSAT Investigates Dylan Collier.
That date in question, it sticks in my mind, and it still has. It's very worrisome.
Universal City Police Corporal David Fawcett says any threat against officers is serious, but the risk is sky high when the suspect actually has loaded weapons. The night of August 28th, UCPD made the decision to have family members evacuate a home after a 911 caller said 25-year-old Jordan James was armed, had threatened to come to the residence to kill everyone inside and then get in a shootout with law enforcement, a domestic dispute that had escalated to a threat to the general public.
Universal City Police were able to get James away from residential areas and made a felony traffic stop in a strip mall that was closed for the night, about the safest place possible to engage him.
Get out of the door! I'm with you. Face away!
After a few tense moments,
Don't look back!
James was arrested. Within arm's reach in his car was a loaded shotgun, a loaded semi-automatic rifle, and a loaded 9mm handgun. Police also recovered 160 rounds of ammunition from the vehicle. James, who had no previous criminal record in Bexar County, was booked on charges of unlawful carry of a weapon, terroristic threat to a family member, and terroristic threat causing fear to the public.
He was certainly ready, he was motivated, and he had the means. We're fortunate that he listened to the police commands and stood down.
The following afternoon, while James was being formally booked into jail, footage obtained by KSAT Investigates shows Bexar County Assistant District Attorney Michael Acevedo make the following recommendations on bond.
$5,000 each for the terroristic threat family and the UCW, and $30,000 for the terroristic threat public here.
$40,000 in all, a total that was apparently not suitable to Magistrate Judge Rolando Ramos, who quickly tripled the DA's recommendation.
Okay. This is what we're going to do, Mr. Jordan. Given the gravity of what I read in the report, I'm setting the terroristic threats of a family member at $10,000, the terroristic unlawfully carrying a weapon at $10,000, the terroristic threat public fear at $100,000.
The bond recommendation from the DA's office came days after 3 San Antonio police officers were shot while trying to arrest convicted felon Jesse Garcia, a rampage that began a violent stretch for area law enforcement, as 5 San Antonio police officers were shot in a 12-day period, and a 6th officer accidentally shot himself while pursuing an armed suspect. KSAT attempted to sit down with Acevedo. We're told instead that District Attorney Joe Gonzalez was the most suitable candidate for the interview, but he was unavailable the rest of the week. After a follow-up email, we were told by a spokeswoman, quote, should there be an opportunity for an interview slot, I will be in touch.
As a law enforcement official and having been one for 21 years now almost, I don't know another officer that supports that type of low bond on violent offenders or even if it's a first-time offender, but such an egregious act.
Get down now! For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
James was released from jail on bond August 30th. A no-contact order remains in place, and earlier this month, his request to modify bond to allow him to go to work was denied. James' attorney told KSAT his client had an emotional outburst and was not a true threat to anyone that night. Take a live look outside with live cam right now. 85 degrees, and we set another unwelcome record this summer.
Yes, we did, and I'm going to get to that in one moment. Another temperature record, shocking. And not just for this summer, but it bookends summer a little bit. Let's get you ready for tomorrow, first of all. I do want to talk about rain. Another opportunity tomorrow. Don't get your hopes too high, but cross your fingers and say some prayers for your neighborhood because a few downpours will be popping up. 73 in the morning, 89 at noon, and then 96 the high temperature with that 20% chance tomorrow afternoon. This is what it looks like near Divine today. You see that nice rain shaft off in the distance. Some good dark rain-making clouds for some of us. And those that got hit got up to about a half an inch in some of the highly isolated locations. The green on the map on authority radar here shows you where we had at least a ½ inch of rain estimated by Doppler radar. You get a little closer in, and one of the sweet spots was McCoy to Campbellton, between a ½ inch to almost an inch there, but Divine 0.05 of an inch. That's it. Closer to Pearsall, up to 0.3 of an inch. At least we saw a little bit today. I think it'll be a similar situation tomorrow, just not in the exact same spots. Here's the big picture. Here's what's driving our weather. We do have the upper level high, but now it's off to the west again over the Baja Peninsula. That gives us this northwesterly flow aloft, the steering flow in the atmosphere, and some good energy today in New Mexico and far west Texas. Actually, El Paso had some flash flooding in the streets of downtown El Paso. Some of that energy I do think will be pushed our way and will drift our way. It just maintains that 20% chance tomorrow. I wish it could be higher, but unfortunately, we'll have just enough instability and then probably just enough lift to kickstart some of these showers. Futurecast is on board. Just a few isolated, brief pop-up downpours and non-severe thunderstorms. Hit or miss, but mostly miss, unfortunately, for the vast majority of us out there through the day tomorrow. The time frame for it, the window of opportunity, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Don't be canceling any outdoor afternoon or evening plans. Even if you do get hit, quick splash and dash, and then you'll just count your lucky stars. You'll be one of the fortunate few. 97 degrees, that was our high temperature today. The average, 88, the record 103. But let's go back to 97 today. That makes 111 90-degree days. Of course, that includes our 100-degree days because you have to hit 90 to get to 100, but 111 consecutive 90-degree days. That is a new all-time record for San Antonio. The previous record, 108, set back in 2009. And we're just going to keep adding to that in the days ahead. Across the state, mostly 90s. No, not many triple digits, though. Most mid and upper 90s. Cotulla made it to 101, but Del Rio 99, and even Laredo, typically one of the hot spots, 98. Tomorrow morning, we start the day 73 in San Antonio, some upper 60s in the hill country, 73 Carrizo Springs, Gonzales as well. By the afternoon, we warm back into the 90s again. We'll make it 112 tomorrow, 112 days in a row of at least 90 degrees. 96 in San Antonio, Pleasanton 98 degrees. Kerrville 93, Carrizo Springs, Crystal City about 97 for the high, and Seguin, Geronimo area 96. So we'll feel the heat again tomorrow, definitely above average. Remember that average high is 88, and we're going to be above it for the foreseeable future here. 96 again on Thursday, and then we trim back just a couple of degrees as we get into next week. 93 the high temperature, mornings low 70s, afternoons low to mid 90s. That's our trend. We need a big pattern shift, and right now we just don't see one in sight.
Yeah, we got to break this trend. Thank you, Adam. All right, if you like volleyball, boy, do we have a good matchup tonight.
Doesn't everyone like volleyball?
I would think so. Why not?
I mean, being a Huskers fan, you would think volleyball would be your number one sport.
Well, I don't know about number one. It's up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we traveled to Northside Sports Gym for a couple of top-tier high school volleyball matches. Plus, the San Antonio Gunslingers are entering a new era as a member of the Indoor Football League, saying goodbye to the NAL. Details coming up. Leading off tonight's high school volleyball slate, a heavyweight tilt between two top-ranked 6A programs in the state. The 8th-ranked Harlan Hawks taking on the 21st-ranked Brennan Bears. The first set was almost point for point, but Harlan's Carrington Crawford helped the Hawks to a 25-20 win with kills like that one. The Bears evened things up in set 2 thanks to a dominant performance from Gianna Brown to take the set 28-26. Although from there, the Hawks took control of the match as sophomore J.C. Hall hits one off the block for the kill to end it. Harlan wins it 3-1. So J.C., did you feel any pressure to get that last kill?
It felt amazing, actually. I knew I wanted to kill that, and I just like tried to hit it as hard as I could. It makes me feel really good and like confident about like our team and like how we play, because I know at the end of the day, even if we don't start off as strong, we still have a chance, because I know there's girls on the court that are gonna fight and give it their all.
JC and her Hawks teammates face O'Connor on Friday nights. In our second game of the night, the Brandeis Broncos and Marshall Rams come face to face. We pick up the action in the second set, where Brandeis's Lola Isaif was making her presence known. The Rams answered right back. Otilia Gheorghe gets a kill of her own right here, but it was the Broncos who would win it in straight sets, 3-0. Brandeis is back in action against Lee this Friday. The 2023 MLB regular season is winding down, and with less than 1 week to go, the American League West Division is still a heated three-team race between the surging Rangers, Astros, and Mariners. The Rangers are in first place with 6 days remaining. Let's see how tonight's games are going. The Rangers down 9-1, so might be seeing that streak come to an end. And the Houston Astros trailing the Mariners 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Well, the San Antonio Gunslingers franchise is leaving the National Arena League to become the 16th member of the Indoor Football League. This new era for the Gunslingers will be headed by an original member of the 1985 USFL Gunslingers, Tom Menace. Menace will take over as the head coach and general manager in 2024.
It's fantastic. I mean, there's some legendary coaches in this league. There's some great ownership groups. The Rackler family fits in perfect because of their first-class nature and how they do business and how they treat the community, and I'm looking forward to that all around the country.
It's going to be a great opportunity for a lot of young guys to come and play at San Antonio. It's going to be a very good team. And more importantly, it's going to be great for the people of San Antonio. This is going to be family, fun, affordable entertainment. You'll be able to bring your family, have a great time at an affordable price.
It all begins in 2024. The IFL season kicks off March 16th.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
It'd be awesome to see him received the way that he deserves to be received. I know that Houston's going to do it right for him. Just looking forward for me personally, just to have all of us in one area at one time. We don't get together often much anymore because we're all so spread out. For me, it's all about remembering that there's a big game behind this, to be happy for my brother. But yeah, I don't know who he's rooting for or what he's got going on in his corner. But at the end of the day, there is a game to be played.
Steelers linebacker T.J. Watt will be front and center when the Texans induct his brother, retired three-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year J.J. Watt, into the Ring of Honor. The ceremony will take place at halftime of the Houston-Pittsburgh Week 4 matchup this Sunday. We'll be right back. The much-anticipated Canelo Alvarez fight against Jermell Charlo is this coming Saturday, and San Antonio's Mario Barrios is on the undercard. He will be fighting for the WBC Interim World Welterweight title belt. Sports producer Daniel Villanueva caught up with Barrios to see what it's going to take for him to defeat Yordenis Ugas.
It's going to take, everything that I've learned, and, my whole boxing career, to pull off this victory. Me and Ugas, we have a lot of respect for each other, but, this fight, it's only business. And, I know he's coming ready. I've seen him fight plenty of times. I know the type of fighter that he is. And I think, given both of our styles, this fight, it has potential to be, a very explosive fight. And it's one of those fights that could easily, steal, I think, the show on the whole card.
We will be rooting for Barrios.
Yeah.
El Azteca.
Pay-per-view. I would pay just to watch El Azteca.
Yes.
And that hat is sweet. The Spurs hat on it.
His lucky hat.
I think you need one of those, Mary. Just saying. We'll be right back. Appreciate you joining us tonight. That's it for the Night Beat. GMSA starts in the morning at 4:30. See you tomorrow.